Hi guys, it's the Artsy Gamer back again for another video in our channel. Of course, grab your teas, grab your coffees, and yes, maybe a little bit of food. And let's do this. Okay then guys, you know how this works. Let's take a sip of black coffee before we begin. Come on, join me, join me. Mmm. Yes, baby, and of course going on my Crash Bandicoot coaster there. And yes, guys, if you're new here today and you are into gaming retrospectives, complete unbox experiences, art and graphic design, and of course a whole load of nostalgia, then yes, you are so in the right place here. So definitely consider giving this channel a subscribe and a like to the video if you haven't already. And yes, guys, if you can handle the Artsy Gamer mess and madness and want to get notified when the next video goes live, then of course just pop on your notification bell held up by Tails there. Well, in today's video, we are actually going to do a complete unboxed experience. It's been a while since we've done one of those. But yes, absolutely, jumping on the Resident Evil bandwagon. What did I just say there? The Resident Evil bandwagon. With the release of Resident Evil 9 coming out, I thought we would do a complete unboxed experience of the only Resident Evil that I actually have in my collection so far. And yes, guys, absolutely, I am looking to collect all the originals and the OGs on the PlayStation 2 and maybe even a bit of PlayStation 1, actually. Yes, but yeah, guys, my first Resident Evil that I actually ever played was this one. Oh, well, I say from start to finish. I'll explain more when we get there. So I am very much ashamed to say that. And like I said, I can only give you a PlayStation 5 complete unbox experience today because, yeah, this is the only one I have in my collection, as I've just said. But of course, guys, yes, we will go through the whole shebang. We will have a look at the front. We'll have a look at the back. We'll have a look at the disc, the gameplay, of course, and yeah, the manual. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say. These new modern releases don't have anything to do with manuals, so yeah, what a shame. But of course, we will give it the complete unboxed. But that is why I want to go back and collect some of those older ones back on those retro systems to give you a really nice complete unboxed experience here on the Artsy Gamer. But yeah, here we go then. New release of Resident Evil. This is the only one I own, so yeah, why not? We'll do a complete unbox today with this one. Why not, guys? Why not? Right then, so let's take a sip of black coffee and then we'll get straight on to this lovely front cover here. Very, very nice. So come on, join me, join me. Yes, okay, baby. Now, I have brought Resident Evil up to my YouTube before, but I haven't done a fully complete unboxed experience. Up until now, a lot of my kind of like show and tells of my PlayStation 5 games have just pretty much just been me showing my gaming collection and maybe just stopping off on some of the artwork that I like. So I think I've got something on my teeth. Ooh! Ooh! Sorry, I think it's gone.
Is it still there?
It just feels like I got something on my teeth. Anyway, but I am actually yet to do a proper complete unboxed experience of one of my games on the PlayStation 5. I do think it is because it does lack that manual and stuff like that. But you know what? Yeah, here we go. And it'll be a full kind of deep dive into the art and graphic design. And what is that box art telling me as a gamer before I go into the game? Yeah. Right then, so here we go then, guys. I really do like this box. Now, it is a little bit dark. There is a little bit of stuff that you would like to see more of, I think, but we'll get there when we get there. But just instantly, I love how the main character, Leon here, is just looking down at the Resident Evil sign here. It is almost like he is just eyeing up that sign as to say, right, I can see all those veins going through there. I can see a bit of red there. There's a little bit of blood. There's a little bit of mystery, all right? And he's eyeing it up going, okay, yeah, I've got to kind of go through this again and just try and, yeah, beat what the hell is going on here with this plague, this
Las Plagas.
and I get that from the horrible vein work that is going up through there. It's really, really nasty. And even just thinking about some of those character models in the game with all those kind of like veins up their neck, that is what he's having to deal with there. But what I also like is it actually could be interpreted as like forest and trees and leaves and all of that. And again, he's having to eye it up. It's another mission ahead of him. It's like, yeah, I am going to be having to just trample through forests and wood, branches, just mess to just try and get to where I need to be. And I just love how the logo just really brings a lot of that. And Leon is just having to eye it up and go, yeah, okay, I've got more of this. I've got to go for this. Come on, let's go. And I just absolutely love how he is just eyeing it up. What I also really love about the logo as well, and again, how he's just kind of like looking at it, contemplating, is that the red, like, well, I was about to say red eyes, I've just kind of given it away there, but the letters here, I would say, actually, if you just bring that back a little bit, it almost looks like red eyes, just kind of, piercing at the viewer there, or the gamer, or Leon himself. Just those big red eyes that you might see in like zombies, or the people that have been infected by the last plagas. And again, he's just having to look at it and go, oh my god, right, okay, we've got a hell of a mission ahead of me, but you know what, I'm just going to give it my all. I really, really am. I've got one mission at hand and one mission only, and I'm going to try and do my absolute best to survive and also help Ashley here. Now, Ashley is also displayed on this box art. Again, I just like it's still in the eye line of Leo is just looking down. We've gone past all this mess, in that logo there. And then he's now looking to his person that he needs to protect, and that is Ashley. We've got to get through all of that. We've got to get through all of that horrendous, treacherous, zombies and chaos that is after him to protect this lovely woman here. And shall I say lovely? Well, she's a little bit annoying throughout most of the gameplay, but still, we need to protect her. Oh my god. No, Ashley, no! It was Ashley, not! It was Ashley! And yeah, she's just stood there alone. And what I also love about this box art is it does really symbolize loneliness, I would say. Leon looks really lost and alone. And Ashley there looks really lost and alone. And I would say this piece is actually before they've actually found each other, I would say. And again, this box art is now, I would say, really telling that gamer, like, look, we've got a protagonist here. We've got somebody that we need to protect. Your mission is to try and connect them, find each other, and then go and try and escape from this mess that is kind of right in between you both. And I think that is just really, really great. That's just my interpretation of it as an artist, as a gamer, just going into it. But I think it really, really works. And I would say, actually, for me, one of the better box arts that I've seen for Resident Evil. Yes, I've seen them lined up in CEX or whatever, all back in the day. And I don't know why, but there's just something about this box art that I would actually tells me more that I would say this is going to be more of a complex game. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It just seems more complex. Not even with regards to gameplay, but I would just say storytelling. It is quite a complex one. And guys, I can't really speak for many of the other games. Like I said, I am.
What, a do-am? A do-am?
I'm a little bit of a dabbler with a lot of the Resident Evils, apart from this one, which I have done from start to completion. And maybe that says something as well about Resident Evil 4 amongst all the others that I've played. Why did I start 2 and not actually end it? Why did I have a dabble with Village but start it and not end it? I mean, yeah, you could say I was just absolutely scared as hell. Absolutely scared as hell. The game for the first time again. Yeah, Rick, absolutely Rick. But this one really, really captured me. And yeah, I would say that story was really, really compelling and gripping for me, at least, anyway. So yeah, but with the others that I've seen, especially Resident Evil 2, even with, I think Leon is on that one, isn't he? It's just something about that box where it almost just screams like, okay, yeah, typical shooter, shooting zombies, shooting aliens, whatever you want to call them. I know they're not aliens, but if you're a gamer going and looking at that, they're just kind of like there with their guns, looking around, things coming at them. It just kind of looks like a typical game. I don't know if you get that, but with this one, I wouldn't say this actually says to the gamer, no, this is a little bit different. This isn't quite what you are going to expect, and I love how the box art has done that. But again, that's just my interpretation there. Even if we look a little bit closer, we can still see that kind of like foresty tree woodwork there, but also could be interpreted as like veins and blood and that horrible poison that gets injected into Leon as well. So again, there's a lot of mystery behind that, which I really do like. And actually, if we just subtly look to the side here, then that is, I would say, an environment that you would be walking through again. So even though it's just subtle there, you can see elements of environments that you're going to be tackling through. And yeah, we have got some sort of like, I would say that's a building. Yeah, we've got some sort of haunted house building there. And again, just where Ashley has stood there, a horrible, muddy alleyway, a path that's got loads of barbed wire and chains just all kind of dotted around. And again, that gives you a sense of the environments that you will be walking through and exploring. Hence why, actually, the veins or, branches could be interpreted in that logo there. So yeah, really, really lovely. I think this is a really well-rounded box art, and one to capture that gamer, I would say. But again, guys, I would just jump into the whole darkness of it. Yes, this is a very dark game. It's quite tragic, actually. You've got this poison that is going around and killing off everyone because they get turned into these kind of like zombie mutated creatures. It is very, very sad. So of course the box art has got to be quite dark and dull and a little bit menacing. But I do have to say, if you are just walking past these games in your CEX or back in the day, in game, when you are buying these things physically, not so much digital downloads, I could say this may get a little bit lost in the background. It is very dark, and look, if I'm holding it just here, it's dark, isn't it? You can barely see what is going on, which is a little bit of a shame. You can really only see the logo, and it's not until you would have to then pull it off the shelf to go, right, okay, I can actually kind of see what's going on here. And it is a shame because there's a lot going on. It's just you can't really see it. So yeah. But yeah, very, very intriguing. I would say a very, very compelling box art, and I really do like that. Of course, we've got the PlayStation 5 logo just slap bang right at the top. Again, guys, what are your thoughts and feelings of the white look for the PlayStation 5 stuff now? Yeah, I really like it, and you know me, I'm a bit of a sucker for white. I love the color white, but I don't know how it looks with the blue kind of, box here. That was very much PlayStation 4. I think they really need to actually ditch the blue and go white. I don't know, that's just me. Very similar to the Wii boxes, weren't they? They were a nice white box to go with the white look. It looks like they've gone for a white look. They've changed up. They've made it all modern for PlayStation 5, but thought, well, we've still got all these blue kind of boxes left. So, we'll just kind of like use those. I don't think the blue and white works. But again, You tell me. Of course, this is an 18 rated game, guys. So, of course, they could have gone a little bit more, I would say, darker with the theme that they have used here. But they didn't. They didn't. They did just keep it quite subtle. But I like that. I think it's actually more of a mind game that they're trying to play with this box art here. So, yeah, really, really great. And then, yeah, that lovely spine there. Resident Evil straight down the spine there. Really, really cool. Of course, we will have a little look at the back then, guys, and we'll take a sip of coffee. Come on, guys, you know how it works. You know how it works. Don't know why I went off farm already then. Lovely. All right, then. So, yes, we will take a look at the back of the box. And you know what? I quite like it. I really, really do. Now, okay. With these new modern releases, yes, you do not get a manual. What a shame. But what I do appreciate with a lot of these modern releases is actually, yeah, they don't even really kind of have to feel as if they have to get everything that should have been in the manual on the back of the box. Well, within a lot of them I've seen anyway. They have just kept it minimal writing, and then boom, we've got some really lovely action shots of the game printed on the back here, which I think is really, really great. Like I said, if they just decided to have gone for manual, slap bang on the back there, because we don't want to do that. We don't want to factor in the cost of a manual. So let's just pop it on the back there. You know, they haven't gone down that route, which is really, really great. So of course it allows more of that box art to shine through, doesn't it? So yeah, lovely, lovely screenshots. Now again, this is still very dark though, guys. So it is really unfortunate. Again, a lot of this is lost, but it's a shame because they have actually managed to capture some really great elements of the game. So if we just look at this here, we've got Leon literally like parrying a goddamn chainsaw. Instantly you're like, damn, okay, we've got chainsaws on the go here, a zombie holding it at that, and we're kind of like parrying against your knife, probably to just push away and then stab that knife straight into the zombie. So yeah, look at that there. You've just taken it off the shelf, you've pulled it off, and then whoa, you know, Leon's up against a zombie holding a goddamn chainsaw. Wow. And that is a nice big screenshot, that, isn't it? Just plastered straight across the front there. How fantastic. Then yes, you can then have a little look and a little read of what's going on there. So yeah, just like a survival kind of game here, which is great. And then boom, you've got some other little subtle screenshots at the bottom here. Of course, I will just explain some because again, they're very dark and it's such a shame. But yeah, we've got Leon just looking down the gun barrel there with like a massive explosion going off down the backdrop. How insane. He's there ready to take out enemies, but oh my gosh, he's got so much going on in the background. So wow, is he going to miss his shot? Who knows? Is it going to kill that person in front of him? Who knows? The mystery is there, but that's great, and that's what we love. Really, really great. Again, we have got Leon. Yeah, shooting again is pretty much action-packed Leon, isn't it? Just shooting again. Very, very dark there, but he is shooting a zombie again. Buckling up into some sort of car or some sort of machinery there. So yeah, he's probably just giving him a
Kick! And then
straight with a gunshot, and then he's just kind of, yeah, flown off into the windscreen of a car. So that looks really cool. And yeah, and then we have got Ashley. But I believe that is, yes, again, it is Leon's hand holding a picture of Ashley there. So then that kind of gives you that guided story, doesn't it? Okay, we've got Leon here looking at a picture. Normally that often means, doesn't it? We've got a picture, we've got to try and find that person, isn't it? So yeah, I really do like how they've done that there. Yeah, it wasn't just Ashley as the character model. It is Ashley on a photograph, and it's like, yeah, okay, looks like this person is going to be heavily involved in this game. We've got to try and find her. Let's go. And yeah, it just screams action-packed, doesn't it? With stealth elements and survival elements as well. Absolutely. You know, definitely survival. Oh my gosh, surviving as best you can amongst all these zombies and stuff to try and help Ashley out to return her. Yeah, so just, oh my gosh. And like I said, what a shame though. Very, very dark screenshots. They could have made it a little bit brighter, couldn't they? Just to, well, yeah, I would say make them stand out a little bit more. They are really, really lovely. They haven't really just gone, oh yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. I think they have really thought about these screenshots to again entice that gamer. But they're lost, which is a shame. Which is a shame. But anyway, guys, yes, we will flip this over and we'll give it the artsy game a pop. We'll have a look at the disc and yeah, no manual, guys, no manual, but of course we will talk about the gameplay.
Yeah, no manual, guys, no manual, but of course we will talk about the gameplay.
So let's just take a sip of coffee, guys. Come on, join me. You know how it works here. Lovely. All right then. So yeah, let's give it the artsy game. And there we go. We have the lovely disc there. And then, yeah, how unfortunate. No manual involved with this or slips. I don't think I was given any slips either. Sometimes you might get some really cool advertisements or, if you buy this, you might get a new rucksack or to go with your person, your protagonist. But I don't believe I got anything like that. So that was a shame. Again, no reversible art cover. That's always a bit of a shame. It is normally first-party studios that do give a reversible art cover, but I have seen somewhere it's not first-party and they will happily do a nice reversible art cover, just as a little extra to give you that nice experience. You have gone out of your way to buy a physical copy, so make it a nice experience. At least give us a reversible art cover, knowing that, you're not going to get anything with your game. So that was a little bit of a shame. A little bit of a disappointment. But yeah, here we go. We'll have a look at the disc then. And, I like it. I like it. So here we go. Let's just give it the artsy game a pop and we'll bring it a little bit closer to the camera. Okay, then. So here we go. Now, it is not a straight copy and paste. You know me by now. I love it when discs do that. That is really, really great. We've had a little look at the front. Cool, we've got Leon. We've had a little look at the back. Great, we've got action. Now, let's have a little look at the disc. And I think we've got a nice little art piece going on here, which is great. So this is kind of that horrible symbol that is seen here. As soon as you see that symbol, you know that you've kind of been marked by this horrible, horrible Las Plagas, if that's how you say it. Someone that is involved with that is around. And, if you're seeing that, oh my gosh. But I like it. I like it. It's really, really cool. I think this is an art piece in itself. Just subtly off to the side there. It's almost like, it's almost like a bug, isn't it? That's been kind of distorted in many different ways, which is really great. And then we've got kind of like some, is it like a mesh fencing, or is it just placed on a table and it's some sort of like mesh box that it's just been resting there on? Like, who knows? It's quite complex, but I like it. It's really great. And actually, it does fit with the theme. Again, it is that dark tone of grey, brown, and maybe, like really kind of like a dark, subtle blue in there as well. So that's kind of like the tone of art style and colour that I've gone for there. And I do think that is seen in the disc and with this lovely art piece here. It's really nice. Now, I do like it when discs actually give you maybe a little bit more. What I mean by that is, you've got like a really, really awesome picture now. It could have been Leon actually, doing one of those melee attacks or like a really big kick, because that would have been quite cool. A lot of, his melee attacks aren't seen on here, really. So I always like it maybe when a disc just gives you a little bit extra. And you're like, oh, okay, we can do that as well. Right, that's it. That disc is going in my PlayStation or whatever console you've got. I do like it when discs do that. They just give you, a little bit of an extra as soon as you've opened that box there. But this disc hasn't done that. but they've given us a nice art piece to look at, which I appreciate. And you know me, I'm the artsy gamer. I like a good bit of art. And there you go there. And again, yeah, if you see that sign in the game, oh, bad things to come. But of course, yeah, here we go. We've got our PlayStation 5 logo slapped straight at the bottom there. Not a massive fan of that. Yes, you know, it's white. Okay, fine for me. But I think they really do need to just slip it off, strip it off. I don't know. Just make it a little bit thinner. Let more of that disc art shine through. I love the PlayStation 3 logo on the discs. They do that so well. For me, it is just a little bit, right, my eyes are drawn to that. No, I don't want my eyes to be drawn to that. I want to see that lovely disc art there. Maybe at least just make it black. I would say make it black to fit within the theme. With Ghost of Yote, the white works well because it is a white disc. So maybe they could look to do something like, if it's like a darker disc, get like a black background featuring the PlayStation 5 logo. If it is a lighter disc, then yeah, get that white one going. I don't know how hard or how difficult that would be, but again, it is just a little something to add to the gamer's experience, because yes, they have gone out of their way to buy a physical copy, and it's just little things like that actually that make it a little bit more of a nicer experience. But again, maybe that is just me being picky, but yeah. But okay, guys, let's just give it the artsy gamer flip, and it is a pretty new disc for me, so it does or should be very nice and clean there. Oh yes, and all you down the camera there. Yes, if you are enjoying the artsy game mess and madness and would like to give this channel, well, some help, then yes, please subscribe and also like this video as well. Honestly, guys, support like that really does help out the channel a ton, and it is something that will allow me to keep progressing this further. So thank you so much. All right then, guys, okay, let's just give it the artsy gamer flip back, and of course we will just talk about some gameplay of this bad boy. Okay, so yeah, let's just pop it back in here. Now, like I said at the start, this is my first Resident Evil that I have played from start to finish. So yes, I can kind of give you a little bit of an overview. I'm not going to go and do a review or anything like that, because again, I don't really want to give too many spoilers away, because I have been playing this game on TikTok, and when the comments get going, there are quite a lot of people that say, no, I haven't actually played Resident Evil, or no, I haven't actually played Resident Evil 4 yet, or done a little bit of me where I've dabbled with some, I've watched some walkthroughs, but never actually played literally from 1 all the way up to number 9 now. So again, a lot of my complete and boxed experience, when I actually do and cover the gameplay, I never really give any spoilers, or as much, as I can really there. So yeah, here we go. Wow, just wow. Now, like I said, this was one of my first games that I played in a while that was kind of like, yeah, survival horror game. And wow, I absolutely fell in love when it was that initial startup and Leon has just been given that mission. He's been dropped off in this kind of like, yeah, wooded area. He's having to basically just go and well, his task at hand, find Ashley. And as he's doing that, he's walking down the path, and yeah, things are just starting to get a little bit creepier, a little bit unnerving. And then, yeah, absolutely all hell is going to break loose as soon as you kind of get into that house. You kind of make your way there. Things are not quite right. You're a little bit unsure. And then, yeah, okay, baby. You are instantly like, right, okay, yeah. These people are not quite right. And jump scares galore. That is really great. The jump scares get me every time. Lots of fun, action-packed scenes. I'll tell you what, the survival in this as well is just brilliant. I mean, yeah, okay, that opening again kind of scene where you are Leon. Again, you have progressed a little bit further from that first house where you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, things are not quite right here, into this kind of village, and you're like, right, yeah, these people in this village, yeah, they're not right in the head. Are they think they're zombies. Yeah, and then whoa, instantly you are then just absolutely pelted by these enemies just coming at you left, right, and center. You're having to dodge, you're having to kick, you're having to stab, you're having to then just get your gun out and try and shoot as many, but without wasting your bullets, because yes, absolutely, you are having to try and reserve as much equipment and ammo as you can, because yes, you will run out. Everything is very, very low. So, oh my gosh, because yes, it kind of adds up, doesn't it? You know, we have just kind of gone into this place, this random, disgusting, village with just zombies. Like, you know, weapons and ammo just isn't at your disposal or dispense, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So you have to be mindful of that. So the game kind of forces you to do a lot of different attacks and plan your routes different ways. It's so great how it encourages the gamer to do that, because you kind of have to. It's almost like a guided kind of game, but you just kind of go about it the way you can by, I would say, yeah, just being mindful of what you're doing. And yeah, it is just so great. Funny little one-liners as well from Leon is a man of not many words, but you know, his little one-liners, I am gonna say it now, you know, that bell rings and then they all kind of slowly go off into this church, and he's like, where are all they going? The bingo?
The bingo?
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Bingo?
And you know, it's just little one-liners like that that actually kind of I think it makes Leon in his head feel a little bit more sane. You know, I think, you know, all the hell is breaking loose here. You know, what the hell of a mission he is on, but it's just those little one-liners to him that it's like, yeah, I've got to say this to myself to just make me feel a little bit more sane, a little bit more real in this horrible environment. So yeah. Again, like I said, I have completed this from start to finish. So boss fights are amazing. You get so many cool boss fights. They're really, really great. Of course, some better than others, but they all kind of go about it in different ways, which is great. Never really one boss fight is the same, which I think is great, because you can get quite a few games where, you know, you're up against another boss and then it is kind of the same routine and phase, and yeah, it gets a little bit monotonous. But no, I can happily say that, yeah, actually every boss fight does feel different, which is great. And it is quite a linear storyline to this, but yes, absolutely, that is so my bag. I love a linear storyline and progression and game. This isn't open world at all, and I'm all kind of for those games. Actually, I do get a little bit lost in open world games. I like a thing that is literally from start to finish with a great compelling story, and I believe this is what and why it captured me as a gamer, because yes, it was really compelling from start to end, and yeah, it just caught me. It really did. So because this was so good for me and because I enjoyed it so much, I am replaying this game, because if there is a standout game to me, I just have to play it again. I really do, because then you can understand the game and the storyline a little bit better as well. And also you can kind of, well, within some regard, maybe just play it a little bit better as well. You know that that's going to be over there. You know that's going to be over here. So it does kind of like help the overall progress of the game feel a little bit more smoother as well. And guys, because I enjoyed it so much and I'm playing it again, I would love to actually then go and revisit number 2. I could do one that is going to take me a long time. So I've just kind of pickpocketed Assassin's Creed, a few kind of like ones where I have dabbled with in the past, and I did get a good bit of satisfaction out of it, and I would like to go and play those. And then yeah, I think I really want to give the new one a go. Absolutely, I really do, and I think that's kind of why I'm going to play a few standout ones leading up to number 9. I think the reason why I haven't gone straight for it for a day one purchase is because, yes, I need to really kind of revisit this franchise more because I would say, very new to this. So that is one thing. Also, it is quite pricey. It's a brand new game. I think it's hitting retail about £65 to £70 in the UK. And again, it's probably money that I don't really have at the moment. It needs to be spent on other things. So there's that as well. I might wait for it to come down in price as well, because these Resident Evil games now, especially the older ones, you can pick them up quite cheap. And I think some of them are even on the PlayStation Plus store. For again, maybe very cheap or even free if you're on the PlayStation Plus package, and don't quote me on that, but I think there are some cheaper deals on there. So yeah, it will only be a matter of time until 9 really goes down in price, and I think that's when I'll pick it up. I mean, I say these things, next week I could pick it up because I'm just so excited watching everyone play it, and I'm like, I want a bit of this. But that's my plan of action for now. But yeah, so there we go. That was my complete unbox experience of Resident Evil 4, the remake or remaster on the PlayStation 5. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Did you have this on PlayStation 2? Were you playing it as an OG player? Was this one your first time playing it? I would love to know as well, because yes, it was mine. What were your thoughts about the box art? Was the box art, telling the same things to you as I was telling you? Who knows? I want to get these comments flowing and...
Flowing. Well, it's time to have a sip of coffee, guys.
It's time to have a sip of coffee. Come on. Lovely. Right then, guys. Well, yes, pretty much today is the last chance you can enter my competition, the competition that I've got running to win my Sparks art piece. So yes, definitely find that video down below and enter. I would love to see as many people get involved on there as possible. I'll quickly run through it again. So yes, all you need to do is comment on that video saying what is your favorite Spyro game of all time. You need to like that video. You do need to be a subscriber to my channel, and you will need to share that video around in a group chat or to some friends and family, and that will gain you an entry into my hat. One of my bucket hats up there. Yes, I'm going to put all the names into a hat, give it a bit of a rummage round, and yes, I will reveal the winner on Saturday, which is tomorrow. So yes, good luck. Right then, guys, well, that was my complete unboxed experience of Resident Evil 4 on the PlayStation 5. Unfortunately, no manual or reversible art cover, but yeah, unfortunately, that's what you get with a PlayStation 5 game, isn't it? But anyway, guys, that is it for me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and of course, I'll catch you in tomorrow's YouTube video and TikTok Live. That is me, Artsy Gamer, over and out.